Hi, everyone. It's me again, Judy Ann Calloway. I'm the Associate Dean for Admissions and Outreach at the Long School of Medicine here in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. So, you have a series, I'm trying to keep them short. You've got a series of short videos about our interview process and what the interview day is like. And we love our out-of-staters and a few other things. I think about the match process. You'll see a number of resources on this channel for you. I really think I need to mention professionalism in the admission cycle. It's something on our end with our admissions officers at all of the Texas schools and our friends that we have in across the nation in medical schools. It's a topic that we frequently visit and talk about, and how can we instill professionalism in our applicants and then help them grow that in medical school. It's quite an important topic too. I would like for you to like play me at double speed or something. Go to the Long School of Medicine Club Pre-Med channel where there's an hour about professionalism, part one. Part two is a little more uh, fun because it's spicy. It's can be humorous, I guess, because part two is I'm letting you know what we see as breaches in professionalism. So that's kind of a few interesting things for you if you want a chuckle. But right now, I do think it's important to say a few things about what we expect of you. You know, you expect of us information, timely responses as much as possible in this long drawn out process that's been described before, right? Timeliness. You expect us to behave professionally, and we're going to expect that of you too. So I think it's expectations on both sides. But um, I think it'd be good for us to get calibrated, and so that you know what our expectations are and what we see as a high degree of professionalism. So I'm going to try to just give you, you've got a couple hours on the other channel, okay? But I want to give you some things that happen um, with some regularity, or that maybe there are going to be even some things that come to mind that are like very important for you to, maybe it's more rare, but very important for you to know, right? So let's talk about professionalism in the admissions process. So before anything happens, you might be communicating with us. So let's talk about phone communications, and then let's talk about email communications. Um, uh, so by phone, would you please say hello and announce who you are? And these are simple etiquette things, right? But sometimes people forget. So it would be nice when we pick up the phone to answer, to say who you are, tell us your tell us your place in the pathway. So you can say I'm a pre-med with some questions, or you can say I'm in this year's cycle, I have already applied, or I'm about to apply, and um, and I have a question, whatever it is. So try to be succinct, try to speak clearly, let us know who you are, be ready if you're in the cycle or about to apply or something, and you have a TMDSAS ID, have that ready in case we need it. You should know in this, the professional part on our side is that we don't discuss any of your information with anybody who might call about you, a spouse, a parent, anything like that. We politely say we only communicate with the applicant. So if you are trying to find out something through a friend or a loved one or a parent or something like that, know that we're not going to give other people information, okay? Unless we've heard from you that you're out of town or something like that. Anyway, I think identifying yourself and being respectful, um, have a message that is short and succinct. We've got the phone ringing while we're on there with you, so those 20-minute conversations are hard for our team. Let me back up and say, I think I'm speaking for most of our admissions offices in Texas and maybe lots of places elsewhere. Okay, I think we all think that this is very important. Anyway, Can I think of anything else about the phone? I think being grateful and saying thank you at the end and um, is a nice thing and a professional mannered thing to do. Let's go on to email communications. Uh, we probably get a lot more email communications and see email communication professionalism breaches more than the phone. So we get a lot of emails that say, "Hey, so did you ever hear the term or um, the phrase hay is for horses, it's not a greeting. It's not an acceptable greeting in a professional setting. We're all professionals here. um, we're we're friendly and we can't wait to get to know you better and all those things, but we're not buddies yet, so hey is unacceptable. We get a lot of that. And in fact, sometimes people say hello in an anonymous way. I can't speak for other schools on this. Our names are everywhere, all over our website. You've got the A team. Miss Belinda is our director. Anna is our outreach manager and interview coordinator, and Miss Sylvia is also on our team, um, doing all kinds of support and the committee liaison, etc. And myself, I'm Dr. Calloway. So our names are everywhere. And it kind of irks me. Like if I'm going to send an email to you, I try, unless it has to be a big batch, which is what I do often through the application cycle, I try to use your name if it's an individual email. And I think you should try to do that too. Okay. Because it feels like, I'm really not anonymous and I'm answering you like from my personal email, which has my name all over it. So when you can find a name, find a name. As I said, can't speak for other schools, but you could at least say, "Dear admissions team." If you don't know, "Dear somebody." Okay, so because we're all people. These are not bots reading your email or answering the phone. We're people, and so we're trying to be, recognize you in a human way, and I think you should do the same for us. So please use our names. Um, One other thing in email or phone communications would be if you're going to ask us a question. Let's take prereqs, for example. Let's say you have a question about prereqs, and maybe it's a general question, or maybe it's for us specifically. We have, before you call or email and ask that question, you really should hit up some websites. Okay. That just helps us get to your more important questions faster. And the information is out there, and part of your professional future ahead will be to look things up. So I think that that's a good thing to do. TMDSAS has so many resources. AAMC, our school websites have all kinds of information for you. So I would say when you have a question, please try to look it up, okay, before you call or email. Um, Anything else? Let's go to interview day. Let's go to interview day. Let's back up in that interview day process to your invitation. If you receive an invitation, um, you should respond right away. In fact, for any of these things, anything that any school is asking you to do, the secondary, or some schools have portfolios or specific questions in mind, and we don't want to be wondering, are you going to complete this process? Right? So you should read all of your instructions and do what we're asking you to do. And I think I mentioned in the last video, please don't make us chase after you to do your Casper and your SOVI. Those are things that we require upon invitation to interview. You have a little time, and if you need time, what would a professional do? They would call the school or email the school and say, "Can you please give me a little grace here because I have some things going on and didn't get to do this. Can you give me some more time?" And then of course we'll say yes. I mean, we're very friendly and flexible, but the communicate. So if we are talking about communications, let's talk about like timely and staying in communication with each other. Okay. So if something's not happening, we don't have to like look you up and chase you down and say, are you going to do that for us? Or it makes us think, it makes any school think that you're not interested. Um, and if you are interested, it's a bit unprofessional. So watch that for us, please. Um, for the pre-interview day, if you do decide that you are not going to come to that interview, I'm speaking for all of my Texas school admissions friends when I say, once you decide, tell us right away, because somebody is not having an opera. If you tell us at the last minute, somebody's not having a chance to have an interview, that all important step in this whole process, which might open doors for a person. Somebody doesn't get to do that if you forget to contact a school. So don't get so busy with all of your other interviews that you forget about the interview that you got that you didn't respond to, that you're not going to go to. Please tell us as soon as possible so we can invite somebody else. That's very important, and it happens way too often. And it happens a lot after the pre-match offer period in Texas, when you have acceptances to places. People don't show up for interviews, don't respond to things. You should nicely say, thank you so much for the opportunity. I've made some decisions now and I'm not coming. So that's what a professional would do. So please communicate with us. Read all of your instructions. We give you a lot. Okay. It's a lot. Once, in fact, once action starts happening in a couple of places, interview time, and then later in the onboarding process, when you are accepted to a school, we're asking you to do a lot of things. Read all of your instructions. A highly professional person is very organized and has very good time management and sets aside a half an hour a day, an hour a day, an hour every other day, whatever it is you need to check email communications, especially from the schools if we're asking you to do some things. Okay. Always check your spam filter, always check the spam box, right? Because you may be missing some really important things in spam or whatever, a junk folder, whatever you've got. So make sure that your filters are set to receive as much as possible. And don't let communications get stuck in your spam folder. If you are out of the country, sometimes that is a problem. We'd like to know. We invite sometimes people for our interview. We don't hear from people until the very last minute that they're accepting. You need somebody else to be managing your inbox, maybe, or have it arranged somewhere so that you can have access to the emails that Long and other medical schools are sending you. Okay. So read all those instructions and time zones and be on it, be on top of everything. Okay. On interview day, we would love to see everybody in the waiting room at 8:30. And then we're not fretting, are we needing to chase people down and all that. Of course, if you have problems connecting and you thought your Wi-Fi was okay last night and it's something's happening with your devices now, don't worry about that. Just let us know. We'll have emails and a main phone line for you to contact, and other schools will have the same thing, ways for you to get in touch with people. So if you're having trouble, just let us know so we know. Um, Sometimes people do, of course, sometimes people have last minute problems, and you are ill and you can't come and that sort of thing. Of course, we understand that. Very understanding about that. But as soon as you think you might not be able to um, take that interview spot, just let us know. Okay. And if you are ill, we have people who have an accident, something happens in the family, that kind of thing, then we'll arrange another day for you. So do not worry. Okay. Um, we would love to see you on time. Remember, on time is late, so you should be there early anyway. And you should be ready to have your camera on throughout the presentations, and anytime you're engaging with people during interview day. You should have, you should minimize just the distractions that might be around you. Hopefully you've prepared by listening to some of the videos or reading some of the things we have for you in order to prepare well for the interview day. We're looking for you to be, have a nice appearance, a nice and calm appearance, and attentive and engaged in the day. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to tell you, um, and we're going to tell you in a couple of spots, those break periods in our interview day, that you can be off camera, or even leave the main link to take your break. It does mean a lot to the people presenting during that break period when we tell you it's okay for you to be off camera. It is. It really is. But if you're interested and engaged and your camera is on, that's kind of a nice thing. It might be not a negative if you're not, but it might be a plus if you are there. Let me tell you an example. I go talk to pre-med organizations all the time, thousands in a year, people, pre-meds. And there was a pre-med group, and I'm not going to name names or schools or names of organizations, but I told that group to please let me know when they apply, because every single person in that pre-med organization on the Zoom meeting had their camera on, and they were engaged, and they were taking notes, and they were listening and asking questions in the chat. Part of professionalism is soaking up all the information. We've all got a lot, whatever level we are, whatever stage we're in, we've got a lot to learn. So that organization made a huge impression, and I asked them about it, and they said, yes, we're trying to pay attention to professional behaviors. So I told them to let me know when they were in the cycle so that I could look for them, because that professionalism stood out so much in a space, in a time and space where we talk to pre-meds, in a group setting. You become anonymous, you back off, and even turn your camera off. I've talked to pre-med groups where everybody in the room had the camera off. And I understand, and I always say this, I understand that you might be eager to have the information, but be in a place where you can't have your camera on because of many reasons. And I understand that completely. Anyway, that's the whole camera thing, right? And there should be, don't swivel in your chair. Have I swiveled in my chair today? I don't know. Don't let your nerves transfer to the chair. Don't swivel in your chair during the presentation pieces or the interview. We tell you now, turn off the ceiling fan. It's a little distracting. Make sure you're well lit. Look at all of those instructions that we have for you for the actual, for pieces of the interview day. Greet your interviewer. Be grateful for the time that your interviewer has spent to prepare, and before and after, so to prepare and to report all of the things that they've learned about you. Try to be calm. Please you can call students by their first names, and you would not call your faculty member by their first name. Okay. And if you don't know what to call people, default to the title, default to doctor most of the time, or Mr. for the student interview. Okay. Um, Engage, remember to smile. What other professional things can I think of here quickly? Yeah, little gratitude at the end of the day makes a big difference for people. So remember to say thank you. I don't know that we're all looking for a thank you email or a thank you note, but it's very nice, and it's very nice for you to put in the chat or say unmuted thank you. Usually we get that a lot, so that's very nice. We're working hard. We're working hard to find everything in you that you've told us about your path. Um, and we're working hard to make this nice experience for you. And I'm not just speaking for Long, I'm speaking for all the schools now. So that attitude of gratitude is very important for all of us. And to see you all present yourself with communications, email, phone, interview day, engagement, to see you all present yourselves as professionals is a great thing. Okay, so just wanted to throw that out there. There are probably a few of the things I'm going to think of as soon as I say bye, but you can read the long version. I mean, you can listen to the long version on the other channel. So just think of yourself as a professional, hold yourselves to a high standard and do everything that you can think of to demonstrate that. Okay. And we'll be so impressed. Anyway, keep doing good things. Can't wait to see your application. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.